All right, good morning. Welcome to Hamstrings and Balancing Yoga today. This is going to be a 20-minute session and welcome. Standing anywhere on your mat, we're just going to begin in Tadasana, so your feet are hip width apart. A soft bend in your knees, straighten your spine. Shoulders are over your hips. You can bring one hand to your heart and one hand to your belly. You can close your eyes if you wish, and we're going to take a couple of inhales and exhales together. Inhale for a count of 4, 2, 3, 4, and an exhale for 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale for 4, and exhale for 5. Inhale for 4, and exhale for 5. One more time. You can wiggle your toes and open your eyes, and we're going to just come to the top of our mats together. I'm going to be giving some shoulder variations for those that have shoulder injuries, myself included. So this will mostly be a standing yoga practice today. With your hands on your hips, your feet are hip width apart, soft bend in your knees. We're going to inhale our chest and our chin, and exhale, folding forward. Inhale, slowly roll up to standing, looking at the sky, and exhale, fold forward. Slowly rolling up, one vertebra at a time. Chin to sky, and exhale, fold forward. Down here, we're going to clasp opposite elbows. You can sway gently side to side to give those hamstrings some attention this morning. And we're going to slowly roll up one vertebra at a time, meeting at standing again. You're going to take your right foot back, parallel to your left, like you're on railroad tracks. And you're going to bend both legs. This is called high lunge. You keep your hands on your hips. If your shoulders are nice and healthy, you can extend them above like this, parallel to each other. So what we're going to do is inhale, straighten both legs, and exhale, bend. Inhale to straighten, exhale to lunge. Inhale to straighten, and exhale to lunge. And you're going to come right down to the mat on this one, uncurling your back toes. If your arms are still up, you can bring them down to your hips. Straightening out your spine. You're going to inhale and just give your spine a little stretch. And exhale back to center. Inhale your chest to the sky. And exhale, center. Curling your toes under, we're going to stand up. Oops, switch feet. So left foot back. Feet are like on railroad tracks. We're going to inhale, straighten up tall. If you want, you can bring your arms up. I'll show you what that looks like. Exhale, bend. Inhale to straighten. Exhale to bend. Inhale to straighten. Exhale to bend. Inhale to straighten. And exhale to bend all the way down to your mat, uncurling the back toes. Bringing your hands to your hips. Straightening your spine. Inhale your chest and chin forward. And exhale to center. Inhale and exhale. You're going to curl your back toes under to stand up, meeting at the top of your mat. This time we're going to inhale, Stepping your left foot back, and this time it's going to be parallel to the short end of your mat. Both legs are straightened. You're going to grip all four corners of your feet into your mat, hands to your hip. Inhale your spine long, and exhale, we're going to shift forward like this, just with our top torso. All the way like this. Bringing your right arm to your shin. If your left shoulder is injured, leave it right on your hip. If it's feeling okay, bringing it straight up like this. Your head and neck are in neutral position. If this doesn't feel good for your shoulder, you can just bring it behind your back and rest it there, or leave it on your hip, whatever feels best for you this morning. As you're in this pose, think about scissoring your thighs together, squeezing them together, giving you balance in this pose, and a nice stretch along this back side of the body. Hi, Alex. Mummy's just doing her yoga. You're going to inhale, put both hands to your hips, bend that right leg, and straighten. From here, from triangle, we are going to just rotate our left foot where it is and bring it in the same line as your right foot. And we're going to just put a soft bend in your front right knee, hands onto your hips. We're going to hinge forward, picking up that back left leg, straightening your front right leg, hands on hips or out in a T-shape to warrior three. Your hips are going to want to naturally turn towards the ceiling, but try to keep them in line with each other. Left toes pointed towards your mat. Press all four corners of your foot into your mat, gripping that mat for balance. Great. This is a fun pose to do for balancing your body. On an inhale, we're going to bring our left foot down to the mat, and we're going to flip around and work on the other side. So right foot is running the length of your mat. Your back foot is running the short end of your mat. Both legs are straight. Your hips are square to the camera. Inhale, get tall in your spine. And we're going to move with it. So just the torso is moving forward. Bringing your left hand down to your shin. If your shoulder is in good health, you're going to bring it up to the sky. Kind of creating a torque in your body as a twist as well. So you're pressing your back of your left hand into your left shin. Keeping those legs straight but not locked. Head and neck are in a neutral position. And again, if you have a sore right arm, you can just rest it behind your back or leave it on your hip. We're going to inhale and bend your left leg to come out of this. Take your back right foot and flip it around, keeping a bend in your front left leg. Straighten your spine. We're going to inhale, get tall, and hinge forward at the hip, bringing all your weight onto your left leg. Straighten your back right leg. Toes are pointed towards your mat. You can keep your hands on your hips or bring your hands out into a T-shaped. Squeezing your quad and your hamstring of your left leg to give you balance in the pose. If you stumble out of it, just find your way back to it. On an inhale, we're just going to bring our back foot down to the mat. All right, I want you to heel toe your feet wide. And your big toes are going to be pointed in towards each other like this. And your heels are out. Inhale, get tall in your spine, hands on hips. We're going to exhale to fold forward. Inhale to flat back. And exhale, fold forward. You can rock back and forth from your heel to your toes, just gently. Inhale, flat back, and exhale, fold forward. We're going to stay here for a couple more cycles of breath. You can leave your hands on your hips, or you can bring them down to your mat if your shoulders are okay for that. Bringing your hands to your hips, you're going to inhale and slowly roll one vertebrae at a time back to standing. You can heel toe your feet together. Give them a little shake. Planting your right foot firmly into your mat, all four corners. A soft bend in your knee. Hands to your hips. We're going to pick up our left knee into a 90-degree angle. And you're going to set it on your right knee, just above it, not on it. From here, you're going to sit back like sitting in a chair, bringing your hands to rest on your shin bone. I also want you to try to bring your spine nice and tall, yet sitting back in your hips. So pushing them towards the wall. You're going to feel a big stretch in your outer thigh, as well as a balancing pose. If you fall out of it, just come back to where we are. Gripping those toes into the mat also. One more breath cycle here. And when you inhale, I want you to stand up and shake those legs out. When you're ready, planting your left foot into your mat, toes wide. Inhale, get tall in your spine, bringing up your right leg into a 90-degree angle and folding it over your left leg. When you've got your balance, sit back in your hips. I broke this foot a few years ago, so this is challenging for me. Bringing your hands forward onto your shin. You can flex that right foot for added stability, or so I think it does. Sitting deeper into your hips. Whoa. As tall in your spine as you can. Try to balance here for a few cycles of breath. Whoops. Bringing your hands to your hip. Inhale, get tall, standing up, and coming out of that. Give those legs a shake. All right. Whoops. You come down to sit on your mat. Keeping your legs bent at a 90 or at an angle. You're going to find your sit bones. Sitting up tall in your spine. Shoulders are square. Chin is parallel to the ground. We're going to slowly lean back. You can hold on to the bottoms of underneath your knees. Kicking your legs up into boat pose. So, option one is that your feet are parallel to the ground like this. Or you can straighten them if you've got lots of balance. And your arms are going to just lay out there. Wherever you're at. We're going to do a couple more breaths. Hold, hold, hold. And exhale, let go. Give those a squeeze. And again, so finding your sit bones. Sit up tall and lean back. You can kick up your heels. You can stay holding on or letting go. And if you're ready, you can also straighten those legs. That's a challenge for me today. Inhale and exhale, holding, holding. One more breath. And bring your feet down to the ground. Hugging those knees in. Let's just do one more time, just for kicks. Sit bones nice and tall in your spine. Chin is parallel to the ground. Leaning back ever so slightly and kick up those heels. Let's be brave and take your hands off of our legs this one. Palms to the sky. Hold, hold, hold. Is everybody still holding? You're doing great. All right, let's come out of that. Oh, feet to the ground. Give those a hug. And we're just going to flip around onto our belly just to counteract that pose. Coming flat onto our bellies. You could just lay here, but bring your arms down by your sides. We're going to do something called locust pose. So your your hip points, push those as hard as you can into your mat. And on an inhale, we're going to lift up our feet and our arms, but your hips are glued to the mat. So you're kind of balancing on your navel almost. So inhale, bring everything up. And exhale, let it all down. You can shake your legs back and forth. One more time. Inhale, everything up. Pressing those hips and your belly into the mat. If you want to try to lift higher, you can. For those with shoulder injuries, sorry, I meant to say that earlier. Just leave them nice and parallel to your body. And exhale, down. Shake your legs back and forth. One last time. Inhale, everything up. Leaving your neck in neutral position. We're not craning our neck in this pose. Hold, hold. One more hold. And exhale, bring everything down to the mat. From here, bring your hands by your shoulders. And we're just going to push back into child's pose. So bring your knees as wide as your mat. And you can just bring your hands in front of you, resting your head on your forehead. We're just going to gather our breath here. Your elbows are also as wide as your mat. Bringing your shoulders away from your ears. And inhale, we're going to just sit ourselves up into a seated position on our mat. Just bringing your legs crosswise. All right, we can just rest our hands on our knees, close your eyes. Take a deep inhale. I hope you enjoyed today's practice. Gave you some inspiration for stretching or moving your body. Or maybe just bringing some calmness to your day. Thank you for joining me. Namaste.